Whether we like it or not, strategies are a part of the game in NHL 23, and in today's video, we're discussing which ones are best so you have the most advantage to win. What's going on, guys? I'm Man Advantage. If this is your first time watching, I make a lot of NHL 23 content, so if you like the video and it helps you out, make sure you go ahead and click like, and if you'd love to see more NHL 23 content coming your way, make sure you go ahead and click subscribe. Let's get right on into it. So the question is, what are my strategies this year in NHL 23? Well, I'll tell you something right now. They're not the same strategies that I was using in NHL 22. If you're an avid NHL player, you're probably aware that NHL 23 plays a lot different. I do like this year in NHL 23 that they've added a little bit more customization to the strategies. Let's first start out on the forward lines. Now, I decided to do everything is the same, every single line. I don't want to mix it up. I have tried a few different ones. I've tried everything from overload to what I was using in NHL 22, which the meta back then was behind the net. And I've also even tried crash the net for the number of rebounds that you're getting. But I found the most success with these strategies right here. So for every line, I'm running the same thing. I'm doing overload for my offensive strategy. Again, I've tried crash the net. I've also tried behind the net. It's not necessarily harder this year to cycle the puck around, but it is harder to score those cross crease goals. I've been robbed so many times by goaltenders, and quite frankly, I just found that players are getting in better position with overload. I'm getting better looks, better shots, and it's also nice to have somebody in front of the net there. I'm also noticing this year that deflections are going in a lot more. So I want to make sure that I do have somebody in front of the net, and overload does provide having somebody there in the slot. As far as my sliders are concerned, I have this up to 5 for both carry and dump and cycle and shoot. I do like to max out my energy and efficiency. I don't run this low. I wouldn't recommend that. I would put it all the way up, especially now with the 2-minute burst periods that they have. I'm normally not even running my fourth line anyway, and I can make sure all my lines are in the green, even with max energy all the way up. For block and don't block, I mean, I just have this on block. I haven't really noticed any difference. I've played around with it, kept it in the middle, kept it on the far left to 0, and ramped it all the way up to 10. Again, I don't really notice much of a difference here, but that's just me. When it comes to defense, again, every single pair has the same exact setup. So I have hold line all the way back. I don't want my defenders pinching. I used to actually play in previous NHLs with this almost all the way up. I do it to right about there, 8 or 9. And yeah, I did that at the beginning of this game, found myself getting burned quite a bit. Defense is a lot harder this year, and I want to make sure that we're avoiding getting burned on the back end, especially if we can avoid it. When it comes to cycle and shoot, I do have shoot turned all the way up. The reason for that is I've been taking a lot of shots from the point for my defenders, and I want to ensure that they're in position to take a shot on net. So I've had them all the way up for shoot. And I have been cycling the puck down more or less with between my forwards, not necessarily with my defensemen. So this is what I've been rocking on the defensive side. Lastly, when it comes to my team strategies, here's what I found success with. I was playing extremely conservative earlier this year. I've also been playing really aggressive, and now I'm somewhere in the middle, but more on the conservative side. So I've been doing the 2-3. Again, I've used every single one of these, but I found the most success with the 2-3. And also when it comes to the neutral zone, I just have my centerman up, and I've been doing a 1-4. I'll also rotate between the 1-3-1 and the 1-4. I just like the 1-4 a little bit better. I feel that I can switch to any of these defenders or my wingers and disrupt the puck from getting in my zone. A lot of players are having to dump it. And then in addition to that, we also have trap all the way down, and forecheck is not maxed out. Now, of course, whenever you're playing in the game, right, let's say I'm down a couple goals, I'll rip this up to 1-2-2 passive or 1-2-2 aggressive. And then I'll also ramp this up to 1-2-2 red. And then I'll put my forecheck to about right here. This is a little bit more fluid as the game goes on. The other ones I'm not necessarily changing. But again, just if you're looking at my normal strategies when I'm starting out the game, this is what it's looking like. Defensive pressure, I did have protect nut on. I found that players were out of position. I don't know why, but I found that that was the case. I have a lot more success with contained puck and collapsing and synchronization, so that's what I've been running with that. Offensive pressure, I've left on standard again. If I'm down in the game, I'll put it up to aggressive or even full attack if I'm down 2 goals in the third period, for example. And then when I do my control breakout, I have blue to blue and stay wide on. So those are the 3 that I normally, if I'm starting out the game, and then obviously as the game goes on, depending on what it's looking like, I may adjust these on the fly. For some of the new additions this year that we have been taking a look at, one of the nice things is the power play. So I wish they had this for even strength, but for now we have it on the power play and the penalty kill. So far this year I'll be using the 1-3-1. I'll have more videos out on how to use this more specifically, but for this high level strategies video, just know that I'm using the 1-3-1. I do also like that the face-off formation is at aggressive. The reason I like aggressive on the face-off formation is that if you hold up that centerman, you typically have an open one-timer where you see Matthew Barzal there is where I have Alex Ovechkin. And with his 1T zone ability, we've been finding the back of the net quite a bit. When it comes to me breaking into the zone, I have offensive pressure up to aggressive. I want to make sure my players are aggressive on the power play. I have power play carry turned all the way down just about. And then I also have the carry option for my power play breakout. And then for my quick breakout, I actually like to have leave zone early on. I want to make sure I'm moving the puck up the ice and taking advantage of the time that I have on the power play. Lastly, when it comes to the penalty kill, I've been asking for this forever for EA. This is what I've been trying to run for a long time, which is the 1-1-2. And we have it. So I like to park my two defenders in front of the net and have my center and my winger up top. Now, in real life, I like the diamond. That's what I used to play back in the hockey days, but on the game I like to have two defenders parked in front so we can stop any kind of cross crease from happening. And when it comes to the face-off, I've played around with these this year. I think I actually like normal a little bit better. There's really not much of a difference between normal and defensive, quite frankly, this year on the penalty kill. So there you have it. That's it for me on this one, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you go ahead and click that like button. Helps me out a lot. And if you love NHL 23 content, I'd love to have you stick around here with me. Go ahead and click subscribe. Again, I'm at Advantage, and I'll see you guys next time.